expect, and they're doing a good job. So a lot of the transfers have really shown up too, like C.J. Smith. We're liking him at gunner, along with Jamari Hawkins is probably one of the better gunners in the country, really. So there's just we have right now we do have depth, and again it's a fluid depth chart right now, so we're just kind of working our way through that.
Have you had a lot of guys take pride in being on a special teams unit, even if they're a guy that's not playing on offense or defense? Like, do they see that as an opportunity to get on the field?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's the culture that we've been building here. With Coach Silverfield, special teams is very, very important. He's in every every meeting. He's been on the field coaching, positions. They know how important it is to him. We have in the off season a thing called the TFL. It's called the Teams Football League, and we have break up guys into teams, and have a draft and all that stuff. So they bought in my opinion, and I think it's the whole culture of the program. Like I always tell them, it reveals themselves in special teams, whether it's good or bad. If you have a good culture, you probably have good special teams. If you have a poor culture, your special teams probably aren't very good.
Bringing in Lachlan at punter, what stood out about him, and also how was that recruitment process even like?
Well, we had Josh Sloan last year, and I've known the people over at Pro Kick in Australia for a long, long time. So they've, we had a good relationship with that, and it's always difficult with bringing in a guy that has never punted before in a game. He's never really put a helmet on, and all of a sudden we're throwing pressure at him in practice, and you see how he responds. And every day he's getting a little bit better and a little bit better, and he's a talented guy. You just got to get used to, playing American college football. But we're pleased with the direction he's heading. Along with Tanner Gillis, it's going to be probably a game week decision on who's going to be the starting punter.
With Johnny, what stood out about him at kicker to want to bring him in?
Well, he's I believe he's one of the top field goal kickers in the country. He showed it all spring, and we just had a field goal session 5 minutes ago, and he nailed a 53-yarder with about 10 yards to spare. He's got a strong leg. He's very consistent, and his ball elevates very quickly. So couldn't be happier with him. He's going to keep him healthy. We're going to figure out the kickoff situation between him and Oliver Castaneda. Oliver has a strong leg as well, so I think we're in a pretty good situation now.
Coach, what did you get Ryan for his birthday? Today's his birthday. Did you get him anything?
No, he's very secretive about that. We've been friends for a long time, but I sent him a text over this morning. But he doesn't really appreciate. Well, he appreciates, but he gets a little embarrassed when we do that stuff. So players sang him happy birthday, and he got a little teary-eyed. I don't know if teary-eyed's a word, but he was pleased.
Another football question, not a birthday question. So obviously Kobe Drake gone at punt returner, and he was super sure-handed. Like, what? I know there's a lot of guys, Sutton and Greg probably are in that mix. What's kind of that looking like?
Yeah, you can ask him, Coach Smith. He's coaching the returners, but we're obviously if you can get the ball in Sutton's hands or Greg's hands, I think we're a better football team for it. They're battling their just consistency of catching the ball. Both of them. We feel comfortable, can catch the ball in traffic and make good decisions for us. That's the thing about Kobe made such great decisions for us. There'll be opportunities for us to return the football, and there are opportunities for us to just play another down, fair catch and those type of things. So I think we've been pretty good about that. And the guy who we feel most confident in making those decisions will be it, and we feel good about both of them.
How much does the overall workload of a guy go into those decisions in terms of?
Very much so, yeah. You try not to overload them, and obviously they're two talented kickoff returners as well. You have the GPS stuff on them and how many yards they accumulate in a day, in a week. So we're very cognizant of that. So, I would say, between the two of them, and Bryce Dorsey's a young up-and-coming player that's has dynamic speed. So I'd love to see him in open space as well. So I feel good about really three guys that can change a game. They can take it to the distance, and we're excited about that.
Coach, there was a time period where the kicking game was automatic with the Jake Elliott's, the Gottis of the world.
Yeah.
How do you kind of get the kicking game back to the consistent level this year?
Well, I think Johnny's the guy that we feel very comfortable with. And there's a lot to it. Obviously, the snap and the hold. Colby Cox was a very consistent snapper for us, both long snaps and short snap. We have a new guy, Jonathan Zroot. We have a whole new operation. Tanner Gillis, I think, is a very good holder. I don't know if you guys understand how important the hold is in the whole operation. If it's tilted just one way wrong, if it's missed the spot by an inch, right, it's a crucial deal. So, whole operation, we're working our tails off on that. Trust me on that. And I do believe, based on his practice, that I think you'll like what you see.
Thank you, Coach.